again. For the 2000 and now. RSON, the voice of reason back at you. Ill vibe, Applejack, Ill Dell to ATL. This is something everybody needs to hear. Dedicated to all the writers out there. Check it out, yeah, come on. There's a lot of double XL cats that don't even fit the medium, so everything they do only adds to the tedium. And if they're multi-platinum and I only go cesium, I'ma still outshine them like some white hot magnesium burned in the cerebrum. But there's not a lot of thinking in the minds of many Henny drinking, blinging kingpins, while I sink in like osmosis until you Jones for it, just like fiends for hits. Even the most heathenish will believe in this, the same way a devout Christian feels that Jesus is the way, truth, and the light. But I can't prove that they're right, cause my religion only tells me to stay true to the mic. So I make music that might just make the booth ignite. I can even shake a club if you ain't moving it right. But usually what I'm writing is reserved for the purpose of preserving the sacred nature of words and verses. I write words that speak to nerds and geeks who search and seek like Bambata for the perfect beat, and work for weeks to shop and cop the wax and the CD to put the verse on repeat. I write words that speak to nerds and geeks who search and seek like Bambata for that perfect beat, and work for weeks to shop and cop the wax and the CD to put the verse on repeat. I'm exercising my right to write what's right, like Richard Wright, so I can incite some growth like a rite of passage. What's written may be subject to revision for fixing what's wrong. These ain't songs, they're survival tactics. Yet despite the exactness, it's still open to interpretation, just like any of the classics. Literary craftsmen, my pad and pen are in constant usage to express my passions, like b-boys with backspins, DJs with scratching, graph writers on a late night mission tagging. Great thinkers are always considered as madmen. I escaped the asylum, so activate the klaxon. In other words, sound the alarm, let it be heard via email or messenger bird, whatever methods preferred, just as long as the message is spread. If you read it, consider it the best that you've read. Better yet, instead, pass it on to your homies and everyone that they know, to make sure that they know me with my unparalleled intelligence. Number one with a bullet on the Times bestsellers list. When it's heard on the street, it brings the world to its feet. Reverb from beneath the surface to the furthest peak, across the earth and seas to every bird in the trees. Venus, Mars, Mercury, and the constellation Hercules. Heard on the street, it brings the world to its feet. Reverbing from beneath the surface to the furthest peak, across the earth and seas to every bird in the trees. Venus, Mars, Mercury, and the constellation Hercules. Seeing my life through my mic improves my eyesight like a monocle, with no stories of chronic in my chronicles. Within my psychological landscape, anything is possible, defeating what for most would be an obstacle. A non-profit prophet who prospers by his propers, in a world packed with ink-filled pages and empty coffers. Immortal like Chaucer, my tales you can't bury, so my journals serve to function as a word sanctuary, protecting rare ideas and the strange uniqueness of endangered speeches, so the range it reaches from ear to ear of every person who hears. It can make me either laugh out loud or burst into tears. Working for years to perfect my manuscript, burned midnight oil and kept the candles lit to ignite the torch and pass it around the cipher, to keep the light shining for the next batch of writers. I write words that speak to nerds and geeks who search and seek like Bambata for the perfect beat, and work for weeks to shop and cop the wax and the CD to put the verse on repeat. And when it's heard on the street, it brings the world to its feet. Reverb from beneath the surface to the furthest peak, across the earth and seas to every bird in the trees. Venus, Mars, Mercury, and the constellation Hercules.